Welcome to ILTV's Israel Daily. I'm Lital Shemesh, and coming up in today's newscast. It's been 1 year since the last operation in Gaza. We take a look at the security situation on the anniversary of Guardian of the Walls. U.S. President Biden will visit East Jerusalem in June as tensions over Israel's sovereignty come to a head. And America's biggest pop rock band Maroon 5 visits Israel for the first time with a surprise performance for one rather talented superfan. It's been 1 year since Operation Guardian of the Wall, an 11-day conflict between Hamas and Arab Israelis against Jews around the country. A survey released today says that 75% of Israeli Arabs believe Jews have no rights to the land of Israel. To discuss all this, we're joined by Brigadier General in the Reserves, Amir Avivi, founder and CEO of the Israel Defense and Security Forum. Hello, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Vital.
So how concerned should we be about the result of this survey?
Well, I think we should be very concerned. We asked many questions, not only the Israeli Arab society, but the overall society concerning our personal security and how much we trust the police and the issues of sovereignty. And of course, we asked also about the views both of the Jewish and Arab society regarding the Jewish people's right to have a state in the land of Israel, anywhere in the land of Israel. We asked it in three different ways. We asked whether there is an historical right. We asked whether we have a religious right. We also asked if it's according to international law. And unfortunately, we were astonished to see that 75% of the Israeli Arabs who answered this survey thought that we don't have a right at all for a state. And this is very concerning.
Wow. And how do you explain it?
Well, I think the explanation relies mostly on education. I think that the Israeli government completely stopped dealing with the responsibility to affect the way Israeli Arabs are educated. We see more and more Islamistic groups that are penetrating the education system of the Israeli Arab society. We see, by the way, many students who are Israeli Arabs who choose to study in universities in the Palestinian Authority. You can imagine, Lital, what kind of ideology and education they get when they go to Birzet. So this is very concerning. Now, the fact that people think what they think doesn't mean that on the everyday life, they don't want to work, they don't want to live. I mean, we see people that are doctors and people go to university and so on. We see the Arab society embedded in the Israeli economy, but it doesn't say much about what they really think. Now, you know, our movement, the Israeli Defense and Security Forum, with more than 3,000 officers and commanders, 10% of our movement is comprised of Bedouins and of Druze. We have many Druze generals, and we have officers from the Bedouin community. So there are Arabs who chose to be part of this Zionist project.
Yeah.
But there are many who think otherwise.
Yeah, and I have to ask you about the current situation here in Israel. 19 Israelis have been murdered in just a month and a half, yet Hamas leader Sinwar continues to incite his people. Do you think we're about to face another round of fighting with Gaza?
Well, what is happening in Gaza is that basically a year ago, the IDF managed to inflict huge damage to the long-range capability of Hamas. And since then, they didn't manage to rebuild this capability again. Therefore, Hamas has no interest in a war The same way we saw it last year with the thousands of rockets. They cannot shoot rockets today to Tel Aviv or Jerusalem, not in the amount they could do before. So they recur to a different strategy.
To watch full episodes of ILTV's Israel Daily and tons of other content from Israel, visit our website at iltv.tv or download the ILTV Plus app.